Guest number 2 tonight. Always good to see the volleyball guru, Mr. Jack Grimm. Welcome back to the show, Jack.
Love being here.
Okay, before we get to all things volleyball in the Metro East, you and your kids may never outgrow your favorite sports, but you might outgrow that equipment. Your locally owned Play It Again Sports provides an easy way to sell your quality used sports and fitness gear and get paid on the spot or trade up for what you need right now. Not only will you save with affordable used gear, but they also supply the latest new equipment and accessories from the most popular brands. I talked to Edwardsville store owner Dan Brynjolfsson recently, and he said they are the epicenter for hockey in the Metro East. All your wrestling needs, they got it. Basketballs, they've got it. Get those Christmas gifts there. Get that grandson or those nephews and nieces some quality, used or new, sports fitness gear for Christmas. What do you think about that, Jack?
I think that's pretty cool. So is that like the training aids that you'd get?
Whatever you need, man. Whatever you need for sports. Go to Play It Again Sports.
Well, and I know Dan too, so
he's great.
He's awesome.
Love Dan. Okay, you're here to talk about volleyball.
I think so.
Where do we start? Top finishers? Oh, no, I got a question for you.
Sure.
3 days before Thanksgiving, what are you thankful for?
Well, thankful for my wife. I'm very involved with volleyball, and it takes a lot of my time, a lot of my schedule. Like, for example, I got volleyball practice after this tonight. So wife's at home taking care of the animals and taking care of the house, and obviously very thankful for that.
Taking care of the animals?
Yeah, I got 4 of them.
What do you have?
2 dogs, 2 cats. One of them's a border collie and is insane.
Dog's name?
Olive is the border collie, and then we have a pug named Odie. Yeah, Garfield.
How about the wife? What's her name?
Sydney.
All right. And you're a newlywed.
Almost 5 years.
Really?
Yeah.
Seemed like just yesterday.
2021.
Okay. All right. So I got my little Thanksgiving music there playing. Charlie Brown, Thanksgiving.
Vince Guaraldi.
Okay. Yep. Let's talk about the top finishers. You want to start there?
Yeah, absolutely. So in 4A, the top finisher in the area was Belleville East. They made it to the Sweet 16. They overtook the Southwest Conference and then also had a great postseason run to cap it off as well. In 3A, Mater Dei made it to the Elite 8, becoming the new 3A champion in the area. In 2A, Columbia won the 2A state championship. That's also a new highest finisher in our area in 2A. And then in 1A, we have another new name as well. Jabot made it to the round of 32, and they lost to Oakville, who's kind of in the area, but not really, who went on to the Elite 8. So we have 4 new kings of the area in the postseason.
Jabot always is good.
Absolutely.
In volleyball. We've had them on the show in the past. They're always doing a good job. Okay. Any of those teams really surprise you?
Yeah, and actually, I even included some honorable mentions just because there were some other really good names. I would say it was surprising to me that Redbud didn't make it to get to play Columbia in the 2A final. They had a great season, but they got upset in an absolute thriller to Althoff. 2 of the 3 sets went overtime, which overtime in volleyball is just like our silly way of saying a tiebreaker for tennis. And I would say that I got tossed a note. Oh, okay. Yeah. Gotcha. Behind the scenes stuff there. Sorry. But yeah, and then Maryville Christian played Jabot really well. I think this is probably Maryville Christian's best season so far. But no one really surprised me. These are all the best teams in the area.
It was what you thought.
Yeah, mostly. And I think our rankings reflect that too.
I thought it was interesting how Columbia bounced back. After they lost, I thought, what's going to happen with
They
Columbia?
bounced back well.
Yes.
They
got
really
stronger.
Were not challenged until the state final.
Stronger
in my
throughout the
opinion.
season.
They not that they didn't play harder, it was easy for them, but they looked so comfortable all postseason.
Were there any teams that surprised you in a major way during the regular season?
During the regular season, I think so. I had high hopes for East all year, but they continually surprised me all year. They have great leadership on the court. Abby Monroe is a great setter. And we'll talk a little bit about her later, but having a good setter can really do a lot for your team, and they play absolutely scrappy defense. So they make sure that they give their team the opportunities to keep scoring points, and then Abby dishes it out to the hitters.
If you could have the best player in the area at any one position, what position would that be?
It's you have to say setter. If you have the best setter in the area, they can make great hitters. But there's also some really good hitters that I think if you asked every coach if they could have one player in the area, I think 65% will probably say a player that's not a setter.
Gotcha. Okay, you had some honorable mentions for top teams.
Yeah, so Redbud and Althoff, they kind of beat up on each other, and then Althoff wasn't able to get it done against Nashville. That match was awesome. Edwardsville is also an honorable mention. They had to play East. I think if you lose to the best team in the area, I think there's some honor in that. And then Mascoutah lost to Mater Dei in what was probably one of the best matches in all of postseason volleyball, 4A to 1A. Awesome 3-set thriller, dramatic all the way up into the final point.
You made the point when we started off this season that a lot of the best teams in the area in girls volleyball were 2A.
That is still true.
And that held true.
I actually think it maybe shifted a little bit to 3A this year just because Mater Dei got pushed up to 3A, so that's kind of where the battle began. That elite or that super sectional that Mater Dei and Edwardsville were both, not Edwardsville, Mater Dei and Mascoutah were both in, at one point had all of 3A's top 5 teams in it. So the top 5 teams were all fighting for one spot in the Final Four, and that includes some teams up north. But Mater Dei and Mascoutah were 2 of those. But then 2A still had Nashville and Central lost early. Columbia is obviously in that. Redbud obviously had a great season. So 2A overall is probably still more interesting. But I think as far as like the best of the best, 3A had a run for their money as well.
What I see happening often is teams that have good girls volleyball then have good girls basketball.
Yeah, they're pretty correlated. Tall girls, athletic girls.
Especially in the smaller schools.
Oh, yeah.
In the larger schools, you may have girls who specialize more, but girls who are good volleyball players in smaller schools tend to come back and play basketball.
Yep.
So we'll see about that. We'll see if that holds true this year for the girls basketball season. Okay, best games of the season.
I already kind of prefaced it earlier with it a little bit. Mater Dei versus Mascoutah. Obviously, I'm a little biased because I was at that game and I got to feel everything that was happening. That game was incredible. There was a set where Mascoutah had full control, then the next set Mater Dei had full control, and then the final set, it was I went through it. I don't have the sheet in front of me, but I think there was 11 lead changes, 13 ties, and it was a 2-point spread in the finish. So it was like close all the way down to the wire. Mascoutah had 23-21 on Mater Dei, and then Mater Dei ended up winning 25-23. So like everything was back and forth the entire match. I have a match MVP. I got to shout out Ava Lampe. She's their libero. She had an unbelievable night. The whole story of the postseason was who can beat Avery Bame or who can stop Avery Bame, and she defended 17% of all Mascoutah swings. But most importantly, in the end of that third set, I mean, she had 3 or 4 digs on Avery, like in the last 5 points, and that was able to help them win those last points and get over the hump.
And then Althoff upsets Redbud. We had the Althoff kids on the show earlier this year.
And they had an awesome, I think they defied their own expectations and were able to, I think it was the furthest team finish in 4 or 5 years, so that's awesome for them. That set also a 3-set thriller. 2 of the sets went into extra points, and key players, again, defenders. Caitlin Carbon defended 20% of Redbud's attacks. Maria Murray, 23% of Althoff's attacks. Both of them are just controlling the game, keeping their teams alive. That's kind of what volleyball is all about, is just survive and advance. Reese Dissler also had a really awesome game, who you had on the show, I think.
And Father McGivney had a stunning victory over Freeburg.
It was stunning, and it was one of those things where early on in the first set, Freeburg really had Father McGivney. They were playing like the better team, but then for whatever reason, Father McGivney started putting some stuff together. They closed a 7-point deficit, and then they had all the confidence. Freeburg was lacking confidence, and then there was a 12-2 run at the end of set 1 into set 2 that just gave Father McGivney total control. They were playing like the best of their ability. I think that was probably the best I've seen Mia Lieberman play, she's their star player. I gave her MVP in that match, and they just shocked them.
Was that postseason?
Yeah.
Okay.
These were all postseason matches.
So we have decided to give a MESPY for each position.
Yes.
And we're not going to go each position small and each position large. We're just going to do each position.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
That's a Jack Grimm call. You're the volleyball editor. I'm going with you on this. So our Mespy winner, and you should expect to hear these girls on the show. They will be invited. I'll put it to you that way. Just because we invite them doesn't mean that they want to be on the show. They can always say no. Maybe they're too busy. But our Mespy winner for the setter of the year is
Abby Monroe from Belleville East. She averaged 9.3 assists a set, best in the area, one of the best in the state. She made that team elevate every time they played together. They obviously overtook the Southwest Conference. Before the postseason started, she was second in the state in assists. After everything was said and done, she finished 8th with 827, and that's second in 4A as well. Unbelievable season, far and beyond the numbers of anybody else that was setting in this area, well deserving of that award.
And you said that she was a force, that she was an amazing setter. Last time you were on the show, you talked about her. It was just before Edwardsville played Belleville East, and you predicted off mic that was going to be a tough one for the Tigers, that you liked the Lancers' chances in that, and you knew. So, we've been talking about Abby all year. So, Abby, we're looking forward to having you on the show to talk about your amazing year with the Lancers. And the Mespy winner for hitter of the year is
Avery Bame from Mascoutah with 5.6 kills a set. Again, huge gap between 1 and 2. She passed 1,000 career kills this year. She set a single-season record in kills at Mascoutah with 507. The person in second in kills, I think, was in the 430 range. So, again, she's 70 points ahead of who's in second. Overwhelmingly the best attacker in the area. I kind of said if teams picked one player to be on their team, I think Avery Bame would, by and large, probably be most teams' choice. She's going to play at SLU. She elevated every single part of her game in the postseason. Her postseason run was unbelievable. She averaged 5.6 kills a set for the year, but then in the postseason, it was just under 10 kills a set. She had about 4 digs a set and a near 2.0 passer rating, so everything doubled. Her production was just out of the water. She wanted to win every match, and she was hard to stop.
And you coached her.
I did.
What was it like coaching this kid?
Maybe one of the best pure, humble leaders that is the best on the team that I've ever been around. It is obvious that she is the ace of the team, but then she never behaves like it. It is always deflecting any credit as anywhere else that she can. She's the first person to cheer someone else on. She's a great leader of getting everybody else focused on the things that the team needs to be focused on. She's one of a kind, really.
And the defender of the year is former guest on the show, friend of the show,
Ella Horner from Columbia. 6.4 digs a set. Again, huge gap there between 1 and 2. I think the next person was in the mid-5s. Columbia is very balanced offensively. They're a very balanced and deep team. That's why they won a state championship this year. But what is one thing that's interesting about that is Mascoutah had Avery Bame. Columbia didn't necessarily have an Avery Bame go-to. They had a bunch of people who were capable, but no one who could just fully overpower a team. And to be very good with that kind of offense, you need defense. And Ella stepped up every single time. She was 20th in the state of Illinois, all classes in digs. 9th in 2A, she had 455 digs. 6.4 digs a set is astonishing, especially because I just mentioned Avery had 4 in the postseason, that being a big deal. So having 6 all year as a standard is incredible. And I remember when Mascoutah played Columbia, she was one of those players where if you hit it anywhere near her, it's not touching the floor.
And then our Mespies, our team Mespies for small team of the year, that was an easy one, no-brainer.
Columbia,
state champs.
Congratulations! What an awesome year.
Had them on the show earlier. They were a very focused and confident team when we had them on here earlier this year. They were undefeated at that point. And congratulations to Coach Landgraf.
Correct.
And we'll invite them back on the show along with Ella Horner, their Defender of the Year Mespy winner. And then for the large team of the year, we had options, but we decided to go with
Belleville East, the new queen of the Southwest Conference, had a great postseason run. I think, when you're playing against the biggest schools and you show up when no one expects you to show up and you dominate all year, I think that's team of the year in my opinion.
And our final rankings, let's go from the bottom up from the small schools. Jack, you want to hit that or you want me to?
I can do it.
Got it. Go for it.
So starting, there's 14 teams that received votes. So starting with 14, we had Marquette. At number 13, we had Jersey. Number 12 was Staunton. Number 11 was Carrollton. Number 10 was Maryville Christian. Number 9 was Jabot. Number 8 was Civic Memorial. Number 7 was Father McGivney. Number 6 was Westclin. Number 5 was Freeburg. Number 4 was Altoff. Number 3 was Redbud. Number 2 was Breeze Central. And then number 1 was your state champion, Columbia.
And then we did separate rankings for the large schools, the 3A and the 4A teams. Jack, go ahead and start us off at number 10.
Number 10, we had Highland. Number 9 was Collinsville. Number 8 was Triad. Number 7 was Belleville West. Number 6 was Waterloo. Number 5 was O'Fallon. Number 4 was Edwardsville. Number 3 was Belleville East. Number 2 was Muscuda. And number 1 was Mater Dei.
Well, it was very competitive girls volleyball year, and then we combined those together and ranked the teams inclusively. So start us off at number 12.
Yeah, number 12 was Altoff. Number 11 was Belleville West. Number 10 was Redbud. Number 9 was Freeburg. Number 9 was...
Oh, they tied.
Tied for 8th, sorry, were Freeburg and Waterloo. Number 7 was O'Fallon. Number 6 was Edwardsville. Number 5 was Belleville East. 4 was Breeze Central. 3 was Columbia. 2 was Muscuda, and 1 was Mater Dei.
So what jumps out to me is the number of quote-unquote small schools that were still in the top 5. I mean, these smaller schools can still play some volleyball, apparently. Well, it was a busy year in volleyball. I want to thank you. I want to thank Blue Steel for all their support, for supporting this spot, and for what they do for volleyball kids in the area as the St. Louis Metro East premier volleyball club, and you're busy with them right now.
We are, yeah. Practices for the high schoolers just started last week, and then the elementary kids have been going for a few weeks now.
And we can look forward to hearing from these MESPY winners, from the coaches and the players that stood out, and would love to have you back on with those kids as well.
Sure.
Thanks so much, Jack Grimm with the Volleyball Report. Great to see you, bud.
Great to see you as well. Thank you for having me.